want to talk a bit about a big challenge that I see for men in relationships, and I'm going to share with you why I believe that they have this challenge, and I'm also going to share with you the biggest misconception about men. To do this, I want to introduce you to Walt. Walt was it's hard to put our relationship into a label because there was so much to it. He started out as my supervisor, my mentor, my colleague, my friend. We actually didn't like labels, not even for relationships. Labels are limiting. But this is a story that comes from my conversations with Walt. So it was his birthday. He was 85 and he was in a nursing home. And I called him to wish him a happy birthday, but we talked regularly. And he was sharing with me that he was feeling down. And he went on to say that he had been reflecting on his relationship with his wife, who had passed some years back. They were married 50 years. And he asked me this sort of out of the blue question. He said, "Did you know that my wife liked or loved French, the French language?" He went on to say that he had wished that he had taken French lessons with her. He said that they would have loved it, she would have loved it, he would have enjoyed seeing her, loving it, and it would have been something wonderful for them to do together. And I asked him why. Why didn't you do it? And he said, "Well, I spent most of my life," sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. Walt meant a lot to me, and he's gone, and I miss him, but I really wanted to share this story with you because I think it's so important. So he went on to say that he was always searching for purpose and meaning in his life so that he could help others. But he went on to say that he regretted not being more present with his wife. He said that he didn't understand that at the time, in throughout the years in their relationship. He didn't understand that he was so focused on purpose and meaning so that he could help others. All of this, just when we were talking about it, brought tears to my eyes because I could feel his regret. But I also think that what he was saying resonated with me, and I knew that it would resonate with a lot of people. So I persisted in the conversation, and I said to him that I really thought that women tend to think relationally and men tend to think individually, sort of individualistic, I should say. And he asked me why I thought that. And I said, well, let me share a story with you. And I went on to share with him that it had been Valentine's Day, and I was getting ready to go to work. I was working in the evening, and my husband was home. This was very typical for us. And my husband had asked me if I wanted him to pick up sushi, and I said that would be great. And so I had envisioned in my mind that I would come home from work and we would have sushi together and a glass of wine, and it would be a lovely evening. We don't typically eat dinner together during the week because I work so late, but I just assumed because it was Valentine's Day that he was going to wait. I get home from work and my sushi is in the refrigerator. And so that was the beginning of my understanding that he was thinking individualistic. He wanted to do something nice for me, something that he knew would make me happy. I, on the other hand, was thinking relationally. I envisioned us being together, that it was something that he was doing for our relationship. And I think this is a common happening between men and women. Walt and I talked a lot more about that, and he agreed with me. And we talked a lot about how men are raised individualistically. They're taught to be men, stand on their own, and they're shamed for relational moments like being called mama's boy, or even if they're very close to their wife, they are shamed for that. And so none of this is about throwing men under the bus. It's about understanding men and what they go through. And, in their heart, they just, like my husband, they want to make their partner happy. And women want men to tend to the relationship. And I share this with all of you in the hope that I just bring some clarity, that I shine a light on the differences. And obviously this is not always true for all men and all women, but I know that it can often be true. And so I hope to shed a little bit of light on this. Now, all of this being said, let me say that just because women tend to think more relationally, it doesn't mean that they are better in relationships. It just means that's how they think. And because none of us have been taught how to be in a relationship, we all want a relationship, but we often don't have the skills or the insight or the self-awareness to know how to be healthy in a relationship. It's a big reason why I created this channel. And the big misconception about men is just because they tend to think individualistic does not mean that they don't deeply crave connection. They crave connection just as much as women. And I think that is an often misunderstood thing about men. They may go about getting connection in different ways than women do, but that does not mean that they don't crave connection. So I hope you found this video helpful. Walt, this is for you. And I hope to bring more videos to all of you based on conversations that Walt and I had together, because that's what we talked about all the time, was relationships. And we both wanted to deeply understand the challenges that people go through in their relationships and try to shed some light on the challenges and how couples can move forward together. It makes me sad sometimes that I have this channel and Walt's not here to contribute. So this is my dedication video to Walt, and I'm choking up again, and I hope to bring you more. So go ahead and subscribe so that I can bring more insight to your relationship and help you grow as a couple. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.